guys, George here at Planet Folkestone. In about 10 minutes I am about to interview the legend himself, Tom Baker. So guys, stay tuned. Hi guys, George here from Minecraft Mayhem, and today I am at Planet Folkestone interviewing Tom Baker, the Fourth Doctor. First things first, Tom, would you care for a jelly baby? They're rather good.
Are these all for me, all these jelly babies? I think I'll save them actually for the fans when I'm signing later, yes. It's one of the most famous things, isn't it? When I used to meet one of the villains in Doctor Who, in order to try and show that I wasn't afraid, I used to say, "Would you like a jelly baby?" And it's become a famous saying, really. It's the most famous sweet in Doctor Who, isn't it, a jelly baby? What's the next question, George?
What made Doctor Who special to you?
Well, George, it was a good job, wasn't it? It was a marvellous thing to do. And such fun. That's why I stayed so long. I think probably I stayed too long simply because it was such fun to do. You know, I used to dread the end of rehearsals sometimes. You know, it wasn't like work. It was just bliss the whole time. And then, of course, I used to meet the fans like you. I spent a lot of time travelling around meeting the fans to get to know them and find out what made them laugh or what they liked. And then I used to listen to what they had to say and often used to put it in the show. So that's what was so special. In fact, everything after Doctor Who was a bit of an anticlimax, really. What's the next one, George?
My favourite companion of yours was K9. Did you enjoy working with him?
Well, that's a good journalist question. That was my favourite. Each one in time, you know, they were all rather different. Each one in time became the favourite because I had to work with them and they had to work with me. But of course I have a particular soft spot for Elizabeth Sladen because she was the first one, and also we came from the same city. We both came from Liverpool, and also she found my jokes very funny, which made me love her a lot. Yeah. So each in turn became close, you know, but I particularly remember Elizabeth. It was so sad when she died. No, next one, George.
Which enemy were you most scared of and why?
Say that again.
Which enemy were you most scared of and why?
Well, I wasn't really scared of any of them, you know, but I used to act scared. And I suppose, really, but the Daleks are very high on the list, aren't they? It was very funny. The Daleks were always shouting at me. And the Daleks, yes. They were the most scary, yes, because... And they never learned anything, did they? I was always beating them, and yet they were always shouting the odds. Yeah. Go on, another question.
You worked with characters such as Sarah Jane Smith and the Brigadier. What were your fondest memories of working with them?
Well, they were both marvellous to be with. You know that both of them have died since I left the programme. But the Brigadier I remained very close friends with. Even afterwards. We used to go out together sometimes to pubs to drink beer. He was a great man for pubs. Everybody loved the Brigadier. And he was so clever because he played the Brigadier very pompously in a way that might have made people not like him, you know. But Nick could be very pompous and absolutely endearing. Everybody loved the Brigadier. He just compelled affection. So I have wonderful memories of Nick. Ask me another one, George.
You were the first Doctor to face Davos in 1975. What do you think of him and were you scared?
Yes, I was. Well, I had to act scared, but of course they were... it was very exciting because it was a new job for me, you know, and I was taking over from someone who was perhaps the most successful of them all, John Pertwee, who later became very, very famous in something called Wurzel Gummidge, I think. He was very good in that, very good indeed. And so I was taking over from someone who was very, very famous, and it used to worry me, you know, in case the fans didn't like me, because if the fans don't like you, if the audience don't like you, you don't have a job. Go on.
What is your favourite Doctor Who episode you appeared in?
I think I liked the talons of Weng Chiang, but I've got some pictures. I think I liked the scene best of all, which was very early on, when I came out of the TARDIS in a nightshirt, I think, and that's when I met the Brigadier. Yes, that's what I remember. That was lovely. Yeah. Go on.
Were you pleased that Peter Capaldi brought back the Jelly Babies in Series 8?
Well, Peter Capaldi, of course, is extraordinary because he'd be a marvellous Doctor Who. He's a wonderful actor, and I know him. But he was, of course, associated with Doctor Who. He was, I think, he was a president of the Doctor Who fan club, and I caught a glimpse of him because I was in the, I don't know, in something anyway. But he plays the Doctor very strictly, doesn't he? Very bony and intense. I don't think he'd use the Jelly Baby line, but there you are. How are we doing? Go on.
What is it like to return as the Doctor in the Big Finish audio stories?
Well, the Big Finish, I've known about Big Finish for a long time, and Big Finish means, working for Big Finish means that I'm still doing Doctor Who in the style of the writing of that time. And they do it not far from where I live, so I don't have to go to London. I don't like travelling anymore. And it means that I can, you know, do a whole adventure in 2 days with lots of old friends like Louise Jameson or Jane Slavin or any of John Leeson, who's K9. So in a way, I am still Doctor Who. But they do all the Doctor Who's. In other words, all the Doctor Who's are still Doctor Who because of Big Finish. Because there's a worldwide audience now for the audios, yes, or the downloads. Have you got Big Finish downloads?
No.
Oh, you should give it a try. Yeah, you might like it very much. Ask me another question.
During the many times you spent stuck in the time vortex, what did you do with your time?
When I was well, that's a good question, George. I wasn't actually stuck in the time warp. You know, that was what we did for the time. Most of the time, if the camera wasn't on us, we were laughing, and it was just terrific fun. You know, I was laughing with whichever girl I was working with, and you know, with my sonic screwdriver that didn't usually work unless the script said it worked. So there we are. It was the happiest job I ever had, George, and it's very nice to meet you.
How did it feel to appear in the 50th anniversary of Doctor Who, alongside Matt Smith 22 years after you finished playing the Doctor?
Well, you remind me of Matt Smith, the way you're dressed. You're not quite so tall as he is, but it was nice to be in the anniversary one. But I was rather uneasy because, you know, I don't do television anymore. I didn't know anything about the new cameras, and so it was a bit of a strain. But anyway, I enjoyed it.
You are playing.
George, I think we better call it a day.
Yeah.
Shake hands with me, will you? Whoops, there we are. Are we on camera?
You were certainly on.
Good.